Y'all, now listen, I believe I'm live on YouTube now. I'm going, I really believe I'm there. So y'all talk to me in YouTube land. I'm going to go to YouTube and check it out myself, but I'm excited to be here. I had prepared content, but then there's something else that God just put on my heart, like literally like 5 minutes before, that I'm gonna go ahead and share. I'm still gonna share what I had to share with you, but I did get one question. I'm gonna kind of save that to the end because I want to make sure that I'm sharing um, what I believe is on my heart to share. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm live on YouTube, y'all. It says I am. I don't know if there's a delay, but I don't see it. Oh, okay, I do see it. All right, so I guess I am live there. All right. So I wanted to talk to you about what it means to run a real estate business. I had a coaching call with a client today, and I mean, I appreciate the way you guys consume my content, baby. She was giving me everything I needed to have life wise. But one of the things that we talked about was what your first 90 days in real estate should look like. And that's what I want to share with you. And I say that because I had something else to share, but then I thought about it. I'm like, a lot of the agents and I share based on what God is telling me and what the feedback, the research from you guys is saying. But there's a lot of agents that are dual career, either just starting out, wanting to start out, still in school, etc. And I know that the question that they have is probably, what does my first 90 days look like? And then I get a lot of questions from agents asking me, and this was her question, and I'll answer it at the end. Should I hire a coach before I get started? You already know my answer is yes, but I'm going to tell you why. So let's get into, before I do that, what does your first 90 days in real estate look like? It is important that you understand that in life, but in real estate especially, you can be busy but not be productive. You can have activity but not get results. You could be doing things right, but if they are the wrong things to do, you won't get the results. So when somebody asks me, what should I be doing my first 90 days in real estate? I am going to be very real with you, very raw with you, and it may go over your head now, but as you grow in the industry, you will understand it, especially if you grow with a brokerage that helps you treat your business like a business. The only thing that you should be doing for the first 90 days, and this is what I do with my coaching clients, is understanding the foundation of the business that you started. You have started a real estate sales business, and a lot of people don't understand what that means tax wise, what that means protection wise, why you need an LLC, how you talk to CPAs and plan for tax planning and tax purposes, etc. They don't understand that they've actually started a business. So the first 30 days, I help you understand the business behind your sales license. Why? It is the foundation to how you build. If you don't understand the business side of it, you will hustle. If you hustle, you will focus on the wrong activities. You will be busy, but you won't be productive. You will make money, but you won't build a legacy. See, when you understand the fundamental elements of running a business, things like lead generation, which is what we focus on in the second 90 days of business, they become very easy to do because you learn in the first 30 days when I coach you, because I go through numbers, I go through formulas, you know exactly what you need to do every day. Everything translates and boils down to a number. See, when you have a business that's numbers based, it's not based on how you feel. So I don't not lead generate because people hung up on me. They're not being nice to me. I'm not getting the results. It is a numbers game. My business calls for me to speak to X amount of people every day, regardless of how I feel, regardless of how who hang up. If the first 10 hang up and I still got to talk to 20, guess what I'm gonna do? Go find 20 more. Why? Because I'm not running the business based on my feelings. I need some light. I'm not running the business based on my feelings. I'm running it based on numbers. There are certain things that have to happen for me to meet my goals, and my emotions are stayed to the side for the purpose of operating in the wisdom and in the consistency and in the clarity that the numbers bring. Baby, I hope y'all got that. Okay. Then, so that's 1 through 30, you're going to focus on the foundational business stuff. 31 through 60, you're going to focus on lead generation. Why you're going to focus on lead generation, make sure my timer's on. Okay. Why you're going to focus on lead generation is because Lead generation is the oxygen to your business. It is the only thing that brings money into your business. There is nothing else more important, more fundamental than lead generation. You should not be doing anything else. I don't care about you trying to create camera graphics, get your branding together, get your messaging together. No, you should be doing one thing, focusing on lead generation. Now, because you're focusing on lead generation, you're also going to have to focus on the skill set necessary to have conversations that convert. Meaning you're going to have to practice scripts. You're going to have to get scripted. You're going to have to practice with somebody. You're going to have to role play. You're going to have to learn how to overcome objections. You're going to learn what lead generation is. I have a class coming out Thursday. I think it'll be up tomorrow. I think my team said, but it's about how to start and structure your real estate business. The third module in that is lead generation, the oxygen of your business. See, when you understand that I have a foundational business and I have to fund it through lead generation now becomes your entire focus. There's nothing else that you should focus on. So while I'm focusing on lead generation, yes, I'm focusing on the skill set necessary to develop to have better conversations. Now, the third thing that you will focus on from 61 to 90 days is automation within your lead generation system. And that means balancing it with marketing. See, lead generation, and I got a little bit of time. And if you have questions, you guys can email me the questions at Chizetta, the CEO of realestate.com. And I'll answer them here. I'm not going to take the questions live because it's just really hard to do that. So you can email me your questions or comment them here. When I see them in the notifications, if I don't answer them, then I do write them down and I'll bring them on Tuesday. But the reason why you want to focus on the automation of your lead generation system, because prospecting and marketing are both lead generation. Prospecting is you actively going to get the business. Marketing is you putting something out there and allowing the business to come to you. You need both, because the more you put stuff out there and allow the business to come to you, the more you can stop going to happen to the business. Going to happen to the business requires a time investment. See, if I put out, let's just say, a free home equity guide, and I have a resource where when they click this link, it gives them a home equity guide, but they give me their information first. 10,000 people could do that. And I only did it once. I created the offer, I created the concept, created a link for them to download it, be added to my database. 10,000 people could do that. It ain't going to take me no more time. It would take me 10 years to have 10,000 conversations. So the reason why you need to automate your lead generation and start incorporating marketing in there early is because while you're asleep, emails can be sent. While you're at work, texts can go out. While you're on vacation, newsletters can go out. This is how we stay consistent and earn mind share in the eyes of our clients, through consistent communication. And all communication doesn't have to be calls. Once you are in my database, unless you are buying a house in the next 30, 60, 90 days, you go into what is called a 33 touch plan. And I talk about that in this new class as well. But you go into a 33 touch plan. That 33 touch plan has quarterly calls. So I'm going to call you every 3 months so you actually hear my voice. But the other 32 touches, 12 of them is going to be newsletters. So that's 4 calls, 12 newsletters. That's 16 touches right there. Birthday card, Christmas card, that's 18 touches. Reminders about election day, a football calendar for your local team, that's 20 right there. So then you only have 13. And be creative, send TikToks, etc. But focus all of your intent on having conversations with people that and finding out if they want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. One of the other things that I talk about, and then I will go into her question so I can have 5 minutes left to talk about the course. One of the other things that is so important with lead generation information is that you understand that people only buy houses when they need it. Nobody's buying houses because you're that good. They buy houses when life forces them to buy a house. They get a divorce, they get married, they have a baby, they want to upsize, they want to downsize, they want to cash in on equity. Those are reasons why people buy houses. That's why they go into your database. Because if I meet you today and you don't have a reason to buy a house, I don't care. You're going into my database and I'm going to call you consistently for years, weeks, months, however long it takes for me to learn about you having a life event that requires you to buy real estate. So this is why it's so important, and I'll answer her question now, to have a coach. She asked me, should she hire a coach before getting started? And I said, if you have the funds, yes. If you don't, no. I feel like I give out a lot of content on YouTube. If you can't, or if you like a coach, buy one of their courses every now and again. But if you can afford a coach comfortably, that investment in yourself before you get started, I recommend it, because what happens in real estate is people come into this industry, they think they know everything without knowing anything. This is the one industry that I've never seen where people come in and they refuse to listen to wisdom. It used to be when you came into an industry, there was an apprentice or somebody you respected, and you kind of got in line and did what they said, and they coached you, mentored you, taught you how to be successful. Now, coaching and mentoring is pretty much stupid, because you're paying somebody for advice and then you don't do anything they say, because realistically, you think you're smarter than them in an industry and business you've never been in. One of the reasons that I came to Keller Williams is because Gary Keller is one of the most brilliant real estate minds. There's nothing that I have done in real estate that he hasn't done. I am not going to act like an expert in the room with people that have far surpassed my knowledge base. So I see people coming to real estate, they're listening to their little friends. I have a team, and I have people on my team that are listening to people that ain't ever closed a deal. I'm like, I close hundreds of deals. You're going to listen to the person that has not closed one versus me. Okay, cool. But my thing is, if you are a coachable person, and when I came into real estate, I had a bomb coach. The only reason I am here teaching and doing the things that I'm doing, or that even have the mindset in real estate like I have, is because of him. When I started my business, he said, she's at starting LLC. I'm like, for what? He's like, because this is a business. I'm like, oh, okay. I did it. He said, she's at learn how to cold call. Okay, I did it. And he said, she's at learn how to follow up systematically. Okay, I did it. Learn how to separate your finances and start business accounts. Okay, I did it. Why? He was 20 years in the game ahead of me. Why would I bring my little novice tail up in the building and try to tell him anything? I didn't. I listened. Because when you are ready to learn, God will send. There's a proverb or something that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Typically, the answers you need are closer than you think. It's, are you ready? Because I give people the answers every day. I'm not even lying. I want you to win so bad. You got to understand. I want you to win so bad. I literally want people to win so bad. Like, I will dump out the clip on you. One of the reasons that I don't communicate with coaching clients before they sign up with me is because literally I will probably coach you for free. So in order to not do that, I don't I don't have a phone. I don't have direct email. There's somebody that manages the email. I get the emails that are important to me. They field all the questions, because it has to be some structure, because it's a business. However, when it comes to, in the beginning, energy is not an unlimited supply. So what I hate to see is somebody come in and to spend a year trying to figure it out, and then hire a coach at the end of the first year, but you've already drained 50% of your battery. So now I'm coming in trying to coach you, and you have 50% of life supply. That's why I recommend coaching in the beginning, if it's an option for you. You can also join a team at your brokerage. I joined a team. When I started in real estate, I didn't have money to pay for a coach. I joined a team. You can join a team. Your brokerage has training. Most brokerages have training. You people don't go. And then even if you go, I've seen agents say, well, this is not good training. How would you know? You never been a realtor before. The person teaching the class been a realtor for 20 years. I guarantee you can get something out of here if you want to. See, it's all about our mindset. The Bible says we have to renew our mind. It's all about how you approach this thing, because learning takes place everywhere. You don't need to hire a coach to learn. You just need to be coachable and in an environment where learning is happening. The reason why people pay for coaching a lot of times is because, if I'm being honest, they want somebody to tell them what to do, even though they're not going to listen. See, the best coaching partnership is when people are coachable, and when people have a desire to grow, they receive information and process information different. So it's 6:15. I'm stopping this every day at 6:20 because I go to church on Tuesdays. But I want to tell you about this course. The reason why I created this course, it's a condensation of the whole blueprint program. It's 5 modules. It breaks down the business foundations. It breaks down how to create a lead generation system, how to use automation while doing it. It breaks down how to scale through leverage, as well as how to grow past your ceilings and get out of the business if you desire to in 3 to 5 years. Why I created this is because I understand the blueprint program is expensive. It is, it's an investment. I have spent a lot of money learning the things that I am teaching in that program. So, because I've spent the money and I know that people pay for learning and they pay attention to what they pay for. And if it doesn't have any value, it's not valuable. Those programs are the price that they are. But I get a lot of people calling me, asking me questions about the business side of it, and I didn't have anything to help them. So, like I said, I would try to give them information, but there was nothing that they could sink their teeth into and go back to. What I'm also giving you in this course, and I'm going to decide tonight, but you'll get an extra course with it, some type of free course, whether it's the database course or how to build an attraction marketing funnel. They're both really good courses, but one of the two, I think it'll be the attraction marketing funnel because I talk a lot about the database already. But here's why I did that, because I want you to be able to know your numbers. So you're going to have my economic plan, which breaks down how much you want to make, down to how many appointments you need to have, how many contracts you need to have signed, how many people you need to talk to every day to meet that goal. Then it breaks down the activity. Exactly what do I need to do every day in order to make this money, this amount of money every month, every week, every year, etc. Then it has tracking, because what you measure, you move. If you're not measuring what you're doing, you can't just have conversations every day. I need to know how many conversations you're having. Who are you talking to? What is the result of those conversations? Because that's how you get better. If you're having 10 conversations a day but not measuring them, they don't matter. And let me tell you, because the measuring will tell you where you need training. So, real quick story, my coach, who is the bomb, and y'all follow him, his name's Hank Sorensen, but he's the bomb. But he was my team leader, but I made him a coach because I'm you gonna coach me. But I had 10 appointments that I went on. And he was so excited. He was like, "Cheese, that's so exciting. How many people did signed agreements with you?" And I was like, "None." He was like, either you're not pre-qualifying them, so they're really not ready to buy, or you're saying the wrong things. There's no way that you set 10 appointments and none of them sign with you. Go over the script with me. I went over the script with him. He said, "She's that you're not asking for the business. You're going presenting to them and then saying, 'I'll see you later,' and never following up. No wonder you're not getting business. This is how you need to follow up." See, data creates coaching. I can't coach somebody without data because I don't know what you're doing. Coaching helps you do what you're doing more efficiently, more effectively. But first, I got to know what you're doing. See, if I hadn't been able to tell him my numbers, he wouldn't know. He would have just thought I didn't get any appointments. I was getting plenty of appointments. I was saying the wrong thing. So then now the numbers reveal that there's a skill set issue. Sometimes it's activity, sometimes it's skill set. Sometimes you are lead generating, but guess what you need? A coach to help you learn what to say so you can have the right conversations. You're doing the activities, you're just not doing it effectively and efficiently. And we have to begin to marry this level of information. And that's what I wanted to share with you today on this YouTube Live. Hopefully, I answered your question, Fatima, about coaching, and I will see you guys next week right here on YouTube Live. But if you have questions, either comment, and if I don't answer them in the comments, I will write them down. And one day, hopefully, we have enough questions where I just go through answering questions. But I'll see you guys on YouTube.